Hi, Charlie here. So today is November 27th. 29 years ago, I married my husband, Richard. So 29 years I've been involved with that man, and we've had 6 beautiful children together. Right off the bat when we got married, a year later we had our son, Christopher, and then proceeded Mariah and Joshua, Rebecca, Luke, and Micah. So we had 6 kids together in 7 years. And my baby just turned 21 November 20th. And Chris is going to be turning 28 on December 3rd. So sometimes I have to do that math to go, wow, did that really happen? It's hard to believe that there was 6 kids in 7 years. And not only that, we came together. I had a daughter, Kristen, who was 8, and Richard had a daughter, Ashley, who was 5 at the time. So, we were off and running full speed ahead. We came to this house before my son, Chris, was born. We came in the summer, and we ripped up all the carpet and painted all the walls and took down all the wallpaper and, just worked all that summer. I was pregnant and painting and refurbishing everything and trying to, create a home. We created our little home. And over the years, we kept expanding. Like this room was part of a remodel. Right before my baby Micah was born, I was actually pregnant, and it was Thanksgiving, and I think I had to go shopping for Thanksgiving on Wednesday, and I went into labor with Micah. And my mother-in-law, Ruth, she didn't have her husband anymore. He had passed away that year as well. And so it's been 21 years since my father-in-law's been gone. How crazy to think how time goes by so quickly. So Ruth went shopping, and I was in labor. And as she was coming home, because we had our midwife here, as she was driving to bring all the groceries, I started pushing little Micah out, and Micah was born, and she just got here right after we delivered her. So she got to come in, and she fixed Thanksgiving dinner the next day. It was really a wonderful time. But prior to that, I was in this room on a ladder, doing my faux stuff, which is on these other walls, which, I will not do faux painting again. I did figure that out. When you do that kind of stuff, you can't fix it. If it chips, which when you have a bunch of kids running around, you get the nicks and stuff. So I actually started stuccoing all my walls, and then I just paint a nice color over it. And then I can always touch it up when nicks happen, and because inevitably it's going to happen, especially with a bunch of children. So I just want to talk a little bit real quick before I head out the door. When I married my husband, well, for one, I knew that he was the one. He was the one. We had dated 2 years prior, and I actually broke up with him because, he did some things that I just, I thought, I don't want a family with this involved. And so, 2 years later, I'm driving. Worked up in Tahoe. I was dancing up in Tahoe, and he was living over in an incline. And I would drive up and down that hill, 6 nights a week. And I was just always drawn, because I was on South Shore and he was on North Shore, and I was just always drawn to him. There was something special about Richard. One of those special things is he came over. I was living in an apartment, and I was a single mom, and I had Kristen, and he always made things really special. And this one time he showed up, and he was wearing these brown corduroy pants, and he was at the door, and he had a microwave, and he had microwave popcorn and hot chocolate, and we were going to watch a movie with the kids. And I just thought, wow, you make everything so special. He really taught me how to make things special. how to value special things. Like it was something that awoke inside of me being married to him. And I really appreciated all the special things that he did. You know, he'd take me on little romantic getaways. But you know, the thing is, we took our brokenness with us. And we had a lot of great getaways together. Like, it took a few days to kind of sink into each other and really just be able to love on each other. And we did. We really did love on each other. And then there was a few times, you know, I'd push that button that I didn't know was there. You know, we know when there's the buttons that we're pushing, but there was invisible buttons. You know, and I'd been left in very romantic little spots, and you know, left all night long. And I don't know if I shared that in a cast, but I don't need to go much further into that. But yeah, our brokenness went with us and often came out, unfortunately. So, you know, over the years, you know, because I believe in covenant, I believe what God said about the covenant of marriage. Actually, when we went through our first divorce and I came back to this house, I was here with the kids and just going, what's happening, God? I would sit with the Lord, and he started talking to me right off the bat, right when I got here. He said, you know, I'm a God of covenant, which means I'll never give up on you. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. Once you and I have a covenant together, once you say, hey, yay, you know, I want you, Jesus, as my Lord and Savior, then, you know, he's got me. And he put a stamp upon me. The blood marks me. I'm sealed. My heart is sealed by him. I belong to him. There's nowhere I can go that he doesn't go. Nowhere, you know, I can't run away from him. Even when I think I am, I can't. So God showed me that. And when I said, well, what about my marriage, you know? And he showed me that that's a covenant that he is behind 100%, and that he hates divorce because of what it does. It divides the family. It tears us apart. You know, there's I'm married. When we become one flesh, we become a unit. We become a team. Unfortunately, we've got stuff that we're supposed to be this, but we're not this, because I'm still doing my stuff. I'm still independent. But the reality is we're still this. Get rid of all that stuff so we could actually be what he created us to be, which is a team and a unit. Which, when I work with couples and I teach them about that, and the husband understands that role in a healthy way, not in a controlling and submissive way, you know, wife, submit to your husbands. You know, that's not what it says. I mean, it does say that, but before that, it says, you know, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And that's in Ephesians. And when a husband actually can, not that he can actually do it, he has to actually pray and ask the Lord to help him to do that. Like, we can't naturally do this stuff on our own. We can't go, oh, you told me to, so now I'm going to. No, it has to, like, be worked out inside of our man, inside of us. And when you do that, you know, then a man puts his arm around a woman, and us women naturally just want to cuddle in, and we want to be loved. You know, we're longing to be loved. And what we do is we come in like that, and then, you know, in our brokenness, you know, there's all that gross stuff that needs to be worked out. So I believe in the covenant of marriage. I believe, and I have no doubt, that God did not put us together. And he gave us 6 children to really solidify us together. Like, we're never going to be, like, you know, 2 kids, I could have divorced and, you know, skipped along and got somebody else. But I started, that began my journey of standing for my marriage. And that was a 3-year journey. And we actually did reconcile. So that's part of my story, because I can tell them coming up to 10 minutes. And I'll share those stories down in, you know, future podcast, because it was quite a journey. And God brought me an amazing woman named Mary into my life, who we prayed together. She encouraged me. We'd get together, and, talk about God, and she'd share her story of her journey, and it encouraged me, and we would, believe, and praise God, we got married. We reconciled 3 years in, and then we were married for another 9 years. And in that 9 years, there was still the brokenness that I didn't know that was still there inside of my husband. He had his demons that he had to fight himself. And I didn't realize that there hadn't been any work done. And so here I am now, divorced again, 5 years. And the Lord has healed all this woundedness inside of me, because that last 10 years was, I had some walls up, because I was like, oh shit, he ain't dealt with his stuff. And I didn't realize how deep that stuff went, and I didn't realize how dark it was. And all I knew to do was put my walls up, and what are we doing, and how am I getting through this? And, that's part of my journey as well. So I'm here, and as I got here, the Lord, as I said, okay, Lord, forget about him again. And he looked at me, God, I was up on the hill talking to God, and he said very loud and clear, I'm not done with him yet. And when I heard those words, I thought, well, how can I be done then? So, I stand here on this side, and I go, okay, Lord, I'll still pray. I'm living my best life ever. I don't know how he actually would ever fit in to my world right now. And that's not the point. The point is that, I'll always pray for him, and I always want the best for him. And I do know the best. The best for us and our family is healing and reconciliation. That is God's ultimate best for my family. I can't control it. I can't make it happen. I don't want to make it happen. The more I let go, the more I go, whatever, God. If you want to bring somebody else into my life, bring them in. I'm good. I'm not codependent. I'm not stuck. Oh, I sleep so well at night. I love my bed. I don't pine away for my husband. I just know what God's best is. And it's always been for us. So, that's part of my story. And whatever you guys think, I don't care. I don't judge other people for your journey. I would never put shame upon anybody or tell them that they had to think the same way I do. Ever. Ever. Because that's between me and God. And so I don't, like I said, there will never be, I will never tell people what they should and shouldn't do. I think you should pray, and I think you should seek God and ask for his guidance and wisdom. That's all I did, is in my seeking him. He just keeps telling me the same thing. He never changes the channel. I ask him to. I give him permission to. And I'm still here. Happier than I've ever been. Freer than I've ever been. So, happy anniversary, Richard. 29 years. Whatever our relationship looks like down in the future, even just a friendship that we could enjoy our children together, that we could, just say, wow, look at what we created. Look at how well we did in our brokenness. Because, man, we had some brokenness, and our kids can attest to that. And there's no hiding that. So, nor would we want to, right? Let's live transparent. Let's live real. Let's get real, because if it's not in the light, then it's in the dark. And when we live with secrets and we live hidden, then we're not free. I live in the light. We should live in the light. That's why I do these podcasts, just to be real. And I've got one that I did last night. I'm really I'm not sure I'm going to post them, because it was just me and God together, and I was listening to worship music, and I was in a t-shirt, but I was sharing, my pudge and my ucky, the stuff I don't like about myself. And I don't know if I should share it. but I feel like I need to be vulnerable and just be real, because I want us to all start living an authentic, real, authentic life. So I'm going to end because I am at 15 minutes. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. I'm heading out to pick up my little Stelly Belly, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.